Can you hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, cool.
How do I sound?
You sound like
Nasally?
a Dustin.
Okay.
No.
So, first things first. I know that it's not meant to be this way, but my insecurities took it wrong. So I went to McDonald's on Friday to get a fillet of fish
Yeah.
because Catholic, gotta eat fish, can't eat meat, whatever. So I got a fillet of fish, and I got it for free through the app because I had points. It feels so passive aggressive the way that McDonald's sends you a little message afterward. And like, I bet that fillet of fish hit the spot, didn't it, fatty? Like, you know, I know that's not how they intended it, but that's what it felt like. And I was just like, back off, McDonald's. And to me,
Shoot.
it just felt like they were like, we know why you're here, fatty. Like,
Yeah, man, that's your insecurities talking.
I know it is, but still, I was like, you know what? I had my choice and I chose your establishment. No need to get snarky.
And I didn't have to choose it.
Right. I could have chosen another place. Just because I'm poor and fat doesn't mean that I have to go here. I wanted to ask you a question, too, before we get started.
Okay.
Do you believe in random coincidence?
Yes. Yes, I do.
You do, huh? Okay.
Yeah, why?
Well, I don't. I think that every coincidence is a series of events that leads you to a point that you're kind of supposed to be at,
Okay.
if that makes any sense. So it seems, I mean, it is still a coincidence because everything did have to coincide to get you there. But it seems like more often than not, there are so many things that have to go just a certain way that it feels impossible for it to have gone any other way, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah, it does. Because occasionally I think things are random, but also occasionally I think it was supposed to be this way, like you said. Like sometimes I feel like things have been leading up to this. Like this was going to happen. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. Kind of like my own religious beliefs. I'm on the
Yeah.
fence about everything. So I don't really have a religion. I think it's like agnostic that believes there is a higher power, but we don't know what it is.
Hmm.
I don't know. What were you gonna say?
I always think back to the example I like to use to some people is, the fact that you even exist. Millions upon millions of years happened, and everything had to go just right for you to be here. You know,
Yeah.
that was a thing I told my niece because she was depressed and everything, and I was like, look, if you weren't supposed to be here, none of these things would have happened, or at least one of these things would have happened differently, and then you wouldn't be who you are.
That was nice of you.
Well, I just wanted her to stop talking. I'm
So
kidding,
how
of
have you
course.
been aside from the McDonald's order?
Oh, I was so bored today. Well, I didn't fall asleep until 4 o'clock Friday afternoon, and then I woke up and got ready for work. Went out about 12:30, and then had one rider, which I drove all the way out to Terrell, out there by the bussies.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The bussies. Oh my gosh.
yeah, Bucky's
Okay, you're gonna
in
piss off
Terrell.
a lot of Texans.
Hey, I'm from Texas too. I just like saying bussy because it's funny. But anyway, so yeah, I picked up a guy way out there and then drove him to wherever he was going. It was like a 10-minute trip or something like that. But I found myself on my way back home into, Dallas thinking, ugh, why do I have to go back to Dallas?
It's a
I don't
city
know, man.
life.
I'm
It's
I'm
bringing you down
over.
or what?
I'm over the city. I'm over the traffic. I'm over like all the people. I just want to sit in a farmhouse with tons of acres and just have like cows.
You want cows?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Interesting. I did not think you were the type of person to want cows.
Why not? What? I'm not good with animals? I
I don't
mean,
know if you're good with animals. All I know is about your dogs.
yeah,
And
and
there's
cows
one in
aren't
particular
inside.
that and there's one in particular that your parents have that you don't like.
It's not that I don't like him, it's just that I don't want him.
Okay.
I
Just
mean,
to
I don't
clarify.
like when the rest of the dogs passed away. I was like, you know what? We've had dogs my entire life. Let's just end it here, right? Like, no more dogs. And everybody was fine with that until all of a sudden, my mother came home with a dog that my sister had given her. The next time I saw my sister, I was like, I hope you're happy. I bet you're proud of yourself, don't you? Aren't you?
Well, okay. So that's, I would think, way less worse than just buying a dog off the back of a truck in a Walmart parking lot, like one of my coworkers has done.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it above the things that we've done to get dogs in the past.
Hmm.
I
What
mean,
did you do? Did you kill a man?
maybe.
Just kidding. Just kidding. You
The
probably
statute of
didn't.
limitations is up on it now, so it doesn't really matter, but
We don't condone killing,
we don't.
only on certain days.
And in your dreams, because, you can't be convicted of anything in your dreams.
Yes, and in our dreams.
So, anyway, I guess we should start this thing.
This was a quite a long intro. Welcome
Eh,
to What Am Dreams. I am one of your hosts, Tasha, and I'm here with the other host.
Dustin.
And we're here to talk to you about dream, dream,
Yes.
dream, dream, dream. You know what I was thinking
You can't
the other
sing that.
day?
We might get demonetized.
Oh shit, yeah. Don't demonetize this, please. I was thinking the other day that there's like a lot of references to dreams and dream films and dream songs. It'd be interesting to try and get into eventually.
I mean, that song you were singing by the Everly Brothers is a pretty good song.
Oh, you know who it's by originally.
I do, actually. I
You're
absolutely love
so
that song.
old.
I, okay, yeah, I am. You know what? Sue me. Don't sue me. That's actually not okay. But what is today's topic?
Yes, our topic, I thought, at least a topical question could be, have you ever dreamt or had a dream
Yes.
where okay. Well, that's it, folks. Good night or good morning. Have a good day. Have you ever dreamt that you have eaten or drank something?
Yeah, yeah. So before we get into that though, you reminded me of that kid on that meme that was like, "Have you ever dreamed that when you could, and then you did and could, and when you you could do anything?" Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I have heard of that kid.
Yeah, that kid makes me laugh.
I'm glad I could make you laugh today, Dustin.
Well, you
Being
make me
compared
laugh a
to
lot.
a tongue-tied kid.
So eating or drinking anything, I can't say that there's ever been a point where it was like that was a focal point of my dream.
Yeah.
But I mean, surely I had to have eaten something or had something to drink in one of my dreams just based on the settings that I was in. Sitting at like dinner tables and things like that.
Interesting. Because
I'm
I've definitely, like, I love food.
well, I think
I
we both know that I do too.
I mean, everybody loves food, Dustin. I definitely like food has been a focal point in my dreams, like very recently since I was pretty little. One of the first dreams I remember having of eating food was not the Candyland dream, but it was It was one where I was in a grocery store. This is another lucid dream I had that was recurring. I was in a grocery store. I knew I was dreaming, and I was like, I can literally eat whatever I want. So I started pulling cookies and stuff off of the shelves and just
Mm.
opening them and eating them in the middle of the grocery store.
So you were dream stealing.
I was dream stealing. Yes. Yes, I was.
Uh-oh. The dream police are going to come for you now.
Ooh, Dream Police. Have you seen Slumberland?
I have not.
It's an interesting dream movie. There are dream police in that movie.
I don't think I've ever even heard of that movie.
Slumberland with Jason Momoa, the big cool guy.
Oh, I have seen the preview for that. Okay, I didn't know that's what it was called. I just remember the scene from the preview where he's in the garbage truck
Yeah, that's the
and the
one.
little kid is driving. Yeah.
That's the one. I enjoyed that movie way more than I thought I would. And side note, it has that one guy, that one Irish guy from IT Irish? Nope, never mind. I don't know if he's Irish.
He
Whoops.
is.
But he is? Okay, cool. Whew. I don't want to offend anybody.
Well, I'm assuming that you're talking about,
Chris
oh,
O'Dowd, I
what?
think is his name.
Yeah, Chris O'Dowd. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in there.
The one that always used to answer the phone. Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
I have
Highly recommend.
I'll have to give it a shot and then we can talk about it on one of the episodes.
Yeah.
But we have to come up with a time to set aside for nightmares specifically.
Yes, we do. But yeah, that's my early that I remember having of eating food. And it was like a pointed dream. Like it stands out in my memories. Sometimes I would go to the back and get like things out of the bakery. Sometimes I would just stick to
Jeez.
the shelves, but like yeah. Oh, sometimes I went to the back and got like interesting weird food. Like I guess it was like seafood. I don't know the dream food I was dreaming, but I just know it was food and it was yummy.
Are you sure that you were dreaming and this wasn't just like yesterday?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't raid the back of a the back of a grocery store yesterday. No.
You just went to Heb and picked up a bunch of cookies and stuff and started eating them in the aisle.
No.
I'm trying to offend all the Texans now by calling it Heb.
Him. Oh my gosh. You're offending me. No, I'm just kidding.
I know that I had to have eaten cotton candy in a dream once. Man, actually, a lot of my recurring dreams are travel related.
Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I drive a lot.
Yeah.
It shows up in my dreams so much. But yeah, I find myself traveling a lot in my dreams.
Okay. Even today, I find myself not lucid dreaming about. I do dream of buffets occasionally. I dream about eating at a buffet.
I'm surprised you haven't had like a Wonka-esque dream where just everything is edible.
No, that was my Candyland dream.
Yeah,
But I
I
didn't
guess
eat in
so.
there, so that's weird. I don't know.
You don't know how to dream.
I know. I need instructions. There was this one dream that I remember too, and this was before it came out, by the way. This is another reason why I
Oh,
think sometimes that I am what was that word? Premonitionish?
yeah.
Okay. So when I was little, I had a dream cookie. The cookie of my dreams. Okay. I had this dream, like this was a recurring dream where I ate a frosted sugar cookie with pink frosting. Okay.
All right.
Nowadays everybody knows Walmart sells frosted sugar cookies with pink frosting in the bakery. Okay. So when
Okay.
Walmart came out with that frosted sugar cookie, I freaked out. I was like, "Oh my God. I dreamt this into life."
Did you for an instant think, is this in my dream? Like, am I currently dreaming?
I didn't well, you know what? I don't remember if I did or not. I want to say I
Maybe
didn't.
you're dreaming right now.
No, stop that. Stop that. If I really get to thinking about it, I'll just go into a downward spiral, spiral,
Spurl,
spiral,
all those spurls.
spirals and Heb and what was the other
You know,
thing?
you bussies.
Bussies.
But yeah, I mean, you laugh, but saying spurl is something that people in my hometown would say.
What?
I'm from East Texas. I mean, very small town in East Texas.
Yeah, but what? So do they say
Yeah,
squirrel? Squirrel?
yeah, yeah. They say
What?
Earl for oil. I got to change the Earl on my
Earl.
car. Yeah.
Oh my
It's like there's
goodness.
no R in that word.
Why do I feel like I've not heard this accent before? This is
I-
like a whole new part of Texas I didn't know.
Well, I mean, you don't get out to East Texas very much.
That's true.
The last time we were all down there, I mean, we didn't really leave that little cabin much. So,
That was a nice little lake house, though. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've been out and about in East Texas, like at state parks, but I guess we just didn't interact with too many people. Strange. What were we talking about before Texas? Accents.
Uh,
Accents. I know people who say washcloth. Washcloth.
my mother does that, and I make fun of her relentlessly for it.
And she's from East Texas?
Actually, she's from Dallas.
Okay. Okay.
She also says library and Grand Prairie
Grand Prairie meaning what?
instead of Grand Prairie.
Oh.
And I'm like, how are you this country? I grew up in East Texas.
Yeah, the person I know who says wash, she's from the north. From the north.
That's funny because my mom's family is from the north, in the Pennsylvania, Ohio region.
Illinois-ish.
That's similar. Yeah, it's close.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be like, I'm gonna go wash clothes, and I'm like, really? Just throwing an extra R in there for no reason. All right.
Fun fact, I didn't know it was washcloth with a TH at the end until I think I was a teenager. I always thought it was washcloth with an F at the end.
Really?
Yeah.
Gee. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I was not that dumb of a kid, so I don't know. I don't know how that happened, but it happened.
I mean, that's fine. We all have things as children that we thought, and then once we got older, we are like, you know what? That doesn't actually make sense that way. And then you realize, oh, that's because it's supposed to be this. Like I used to say, instead of making fun of someone, I used to say making front of someone. And I like at some point, like probably when I was 13, I was like, that makes no sense. Why is it that way? And then I realized what it was, and I was like, that makes way more sense because I'm having a lot of fun when I do that. Speaking of traveling dreams, going back to dreams, I actually had one yesterday afternoon. I was driving back to my hometown from here, which
Hmm,
is roughly about an hour and a half drive, and
okay.
I was trying to get my dad to go with me, and he's like, "No, I gotta stay here," and blah blah, and I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And then like on the way down there, I keep like taking photos of like awesome scenery and sending it back to him and being like, "See what you're missing?" And I just kept doing it over and over again to,
So
to
you're
try and get him.
petty in your
Yeah,
dreams.
exactly. And then I got to some house I was going to stay at with some people I don't know. And in the dream, I didn't know them. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, makes total sense. I went to the back sliding door where they had a huge patio that overlooked the crazy view. It was like being up on top of a mountain, sort of, and looking down at this huge valley. And
Nice.
I took photos from there too and sent them to him and was like, "See, you could be here right now." And he never responded in the dream, and I think I understand why.
Yeah.
And then the dream got weird because like we were all sitting around just kind of hanging out, chatting, and I remember I got up and I was gonna go for a drive because I was like, I'm back in my home, drive around for a little bit, like I do anyway. This one guy in my dream, he was like, "Where do you think you're going?" And I was like, "I'm gonna go for a drive. I'll be right back." And he was like, "No, that's not okay." And then, like, as I got to the front door, that's when I woke up.
Weird.
Yeah,
Stranger.
stranger
Stranger telling
danger.
you what to do. Yeah, stranger danger. He
Yeah,
said, "No, bitch, you staying right here."
yeah. I mean, kind of. I mean, he didn't use harsh language, which is weird because I guess I don't cuss in my dreams.
Well, now that you mention it, I don't think I have either. Huh.
Yeah,
Strange.
yeah. He was like, "Sit your ass down," and I was like, "Okay, whoa, chill out."
Calm down. Calm down.
Yeah, I wonder if like the reason I woke up is because he hit me in the back as I was walking out the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Strange.
interesting.
Your dream reminded me of several of my dreams about traveling. I haven't really dreamt too much about driving now that I think about it, which is strange. But I have dreamt about, and this is especially in the last several years, about going on an airplane. And I haven't been on an airplane since high school.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's because in the real life, I really want to travel to like go on tours. There's like a touring agency that will offer teachers a free ticket and benefits and all that if they can get a certain amount of kids from their schools to go like on a field trip.
Okay.
As soon as I got to my school, I found out that one of my colleagues travels with a touring agency and she asked if I was interested in doing the same. So I was like, yeah, I've always wanted to travel. She goes all over the world. She's been doing it for several years now.
Hell yeah.
And she has like pictures of being in freaking Ireland and Scotland and the Switzerland and Germany. And I'm just like, wow, how do you get to go to all those places? And maybe that's why I'm dreaming about going on an airplane because oftentimes I know in my dream we're going to like another country.
Yeah.
Like I've had frequent dreams where we plan to go to Europe, somewhere in Europe. It always includes someone from my family, like Nesto or my kids. Recently, I dreamt we were planning to go to Hawaii. So I remember in my dream all of us getting ready and packing up to go. I remember getting on the plane and riding on the airplane, and I remember there being turbulence and us being worried. The plane was very strangely laid out, by the way. It looked more
Yeah.
like a warehouse than a plane, but
No.
that was weird.
Okay.
And then we got to Hawaii and we got to explore a tiny bit, but not too much. That reminds me of another one of my dreams where we do get to Hawaii. This was recent. I had it like a week or so ago. We get to Hawaii. Okay. We spent all this kerfuffle getting ready. Kerfuffle, Dustin.
Kerfuffle's a good word.
Yeah, we were getting ready. We finally get to Hawaii, and everybody's hanging out in the hotel. And everybody meeting me, Nesto, my kids, and my parents ended up coming too. We're all hanging out in our hotel room, and I could look out our hotel room window and see like a whole deck with like tables and stuff, and people lingering around and socializing and eating and drinking at tables. Right on
Hmm.
and not too far from the water. And I'm looking back at my family. I'm like, we should be out there. We should be like experiencing Hawaii, and nobody wanted to go out. And I was
I
mad
was
at
like,
them. I woke
nah.
up mad.
Well, yeah. Do you have many traveling dreams? Because like, it feels like I have a lot.
I wouldn't say many. No, I just have
I
the
had
recurring airplane dream.
this one. I've had it multiple times now, but in the dream, it feels like I'm at the edge of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but not in like a I'm gonna fall off type of way, but like I'm in a very icy place and I'm like at the tip of whatever continent I'm on, you know, and it's super like cold, and I am very carefully trying to walk around this like huge ice shelf thing, trying not to fall into the very freezing icy water, and having to hold on to this iceberg type thing and wait for a boat to come by and get me.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's interesting while it's happening because I'm like, this is kind of neat as hell. But then it's also like, but it's also scary as fuck. You know,
Yeah.
I
I mean,
definitely don't want to freeze to death.
do you watch like survival shows or
Absolutely
like
not. I can't stand them.
like interesting. What about like films, people in it who get stuck in nature? Like there's this one movie, 48 minutes or something like that. 47 minutes.
127 hours.
Sure. It was a number of time.
Well, there was 127 hours, which had James Franco in it,
Okay, yeah. That's the one I was
where
thinking
he.
of.
Okay,
I knew it was a number.
wow. Well, 48 seconds is definitely not 127 hours.
Blah blah blah. I
So
said minutes, thank you.
that's still not close.
That's fine. But do you
But
watch
no,
movies like that?
I watched that movie forever ago. But no, I don't tend to gravitate toward those. I tend to gravitate toward comedy or horror, but horror and like slasher films or psychological thrillers and stuff like that. It could have just been that it was cold in my room, you know, because I sleep with an AC directly pointed at me and a fan. So it could have just been that. I don't know.
Yep, maybe.
I tend to sleep under the covers though, so unless it's hot, like during the summer, and then it's like all bets are off
Yeah.
because Texas summers are no joke.
No, they're not. I've been so close. Like heat exhaustion. Whew. It's a real struggle.
Are you recording in the same room with Nesto again?
No, no.
No.
Last time I didn't either. I'm in my kids' room actually.
Oh, okay.
They're not in here.
So he has no idea about later.
No.
Okay.
Later, there's a surprise party. He's turning the ripe old age of 102.
He certainly acts like it.
He's falling apart.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
I still haven't watched that movie and I want to.
Which one? The Room or The Disaster Artist?
Both.
Yeah, I haven't watched either one either.
Really? I thought you did.
Yeah. No. I've just seen the preview for The Room. It's so bad.
It looks very bad.
Do we have anything else we need to talk about with dreams or
Yeah, I was thinking too of another dream that you reminded me of having when you said you looked out and it was down into like a valley with this vast, beautiful environment.
yes.
Um,
Yeah, lots of trees and hills and stuff, and it was just awe-inspiring.
yeah, I had similar dreams to looking down and at a big, beautiful view. Like I dreamt one time that we bought a new house in the mountains or near a mountain side and looking out the window from our new house, which was weirdly shaped and furnitured. Is furnitured a word? It's a
It is
word now.
now.
Yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
word now.
I think the actual word is furnished, but it's fine.
Okay, yeah, furnitured. You could see like pine trees and a lake and just a big, beautiful valley. And in the dream, inside it was furnished with a whole bunch of like older furniture, like those couches with the weird ass patterns that are like dusty and super
Like from
textured.
the 70s?
Yeah, it
Okay.
had
Yeah.
those kinds of couches,
Yeah.
but the kitchen was strangely modern. Also, there were no walls inside, so that was interesting.
I don't know
Um,
how that works.
Me either. Like a loft, maybe, but it
Yeah,
was
but I
it.
mean,
It didn't
go
look
ahead.
good. It did not look good.
Okay.
Not in
Yeah,
my
what
dream.
I'm picturing doesn't look good, so I was concerned.
Yeah, I mean there was an excess amount of couches. There was
Well, more than two is definitely an excess.
yeah, there was a lot. And I remember there being a nice TV though that would come down with the blinds and go up with the blinds, which was weird.
That's
We had a
Gotta
cool
get that
TV.
fucking
That's it.
TV in
Like
there.
sold. I remember walking out to explore our new land, our new plot of land, and walking up the mountainside and walking up the mountainside and more walking up the mountainside until I got to the airport of
Oh,
sorts. And there was like an airport right up the way, walking distance from my house in this big beautiful valley. In the airport there were townsfolk from our new town. So it was like our whole little community in the airport. And it was a big airport, so there were lots of people in it. And I remember somebody mentioning that they needed a teacher in the community. So like I could probably be the teacher.
of course you did.
I could.
I'm gonna teach them youths.
So that was interesting.
I don't think you would be the type of person though that would, 30 people standing around and they're like, "Do we have a teacher?" I feel like you would not be the one that would be like, "I am a teacher." You just be like,
No,
"Anybody else? Anybody else gonna know?"
I
Then you kind of
definitely.
sheepishly raise your hand and be like, me."
Okay, Dream Me is not a shy one.
Obvious.
Yeah,
Dream you is almost like drunk you.
is
Drunk
she?
you
I
is
wouldn't know.
drunk you has never met a stranger.
I wouldn't know. She sounds like a cool gal.
Oh, well, I guess.
Thanks, Dustin.
I just realized I don't think any of you have seen me drunk.
No, I don't think so. Or if we have, will you hide it well?
Generally, I'm the designated driver.
Yeah, you're always driving. Makes
Yeah.
sense. How do
All
you
right.
get when
Well,
you're drunk?
guess we'll have to find out.
Have a Drunken Dreams episode like you suggested?
Yeah, exactly. That would be fun, actually.
Yeah, it would be fun.
I haven't I haven't bought any whiskey in so long.
Whiskey. You haven't bought any Tullamore Dew recently, then?
No, I kind of stopped drinking Tullamore. It
How could you?
Well, I mean, it's super smooth and it's got a great flavor, but it's also just kind of weak as compared to the Knob Creek,
Yeah.
because the Knob Creek is 100 proof, and I was able to actually feel something on that. I was drinking like whole bottles of Tullamore and still not feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever dreamt of drinking alcohol.
I don't think I have either. Oh, speaking of Tullamore, though, real quick, you know that jug that you got me?
Yeah.
I realized the other day that I have another one of those jugs, but it's newer, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
I've got two of those jugs now.
Nice. When I
Yeah.
when I found that jug in the thrift shop, if for those of you who are listening, I got him a Tullamore Dew jug, and it said on the tag that it was antique. So I was like, "Oh shit! I wonder how old this is." But apparently, they still make those toes. So
Yeah, but it is different, so it could still be a pretty old jug. I don't know though.
who knows? I tried looking it up myself, but I can't exactly remember what it looks like. I think I read that it goes back as far as the 60s.
Yeah, I don't plan on like selling it or anything anyway, so It's
Well,
just gonna
I was
sit
gonna
on
tell you
my.
if you had like I was gonna tell you if it was worth a whole bunch.
I. It's just gonna sit on my piano with the other one.
Your piano.
Yeah. We have a little upright piano in the house. It's so out of tune, and we've never even tried to tune it. I wish it was in tune. I love playing the piano.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you knew how to play.
Oh, not well. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna play a concerto for anyone. I'm not fucking Beethoven or Mozart over here.
Hey, you never know.
I'm a multi instrumentalist. You know that.
I know
Yeah.
that. About
Saxophone,
music.
guitar. Yeah. What about music?
About music. Wait, what all do you play? Guitar? Piano?
Saxophone.
Okay, that I did not know.
Really? That was like the first thing that I played. I played that in band.
I had no clue.
I could have sworn we've talked about this.
But now you mentioning how much you like Careless Whisper checks out.
I do. That is such a good song. And that saxophone bit is good.
Yeah, it is. I got stuck down the rabbit hole of saxophone videos the other day of people playing the saxophone like nobody's business, like out in public. Like
Yeah.
these people should be getting like millions of dollars. They're so entertaining.
Yeah, man. I mean, I see people all the time that are super talented that are just not recognized. And, there was a point where I wanted to be like a musician professionally. And I've seen so many people that are just so much better than me. And I'm like, no, you know what? I think I'm good. Anyway, you were saying musically or something. Speaking of music,
Yeah, speaking of music, have you ever dreamt like a melody or something or lyrics and you woke up and
yes,
remembered it and you're like,
yes.
this could be it.
I think I told you about this dream, but I had a dream. It was kind of a horror dream. I wasn't in. It was like a movie perspective where I was watching these kids, and they were like exploring this old house, and one of them had gotten separated from the others, and the main group of kids thought that the one that got separated was possessed by something in the house,
Oh,
and they tried to kill him. And so I'm watching this thing where they knock him down, and when they knock him down, it starts playing this song in my head, and it's about like, and he hit the ground, there was no sound, and then like it just keeps going and going, like talking how they killed this kid. They thought that he was possessed by something, but yeah, it was one of the few times I think I woke up and wrote it down somewhere, but maybe I can find it here.
yeah, I was gonna say that could be your ticket to paradise, man.
Well, when I read it back, I was like, this is not a good song. While I'm looking for it, though, I'll also say I did have a dream where I had heard two versions of a song. It was weird because the song is something that already existed. It's A Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke. There was a version of it that was done by the band Greta Van Fleet. And
Okay.
so in the dream, it was this couple. It was a black girl and a white guy. And I don't know if that's important, but is what happened in the dream. And the guy is talking about how much he really likes this song by Sam Cooke called A Change Is Gonna Come. And she's like, I don't think I've ever heard that song. And so he starts singing it to her. And she's like, oh, yeah, you know what? I do think I know that song. And I know this is strange, but they start getting into the shower, like they're going to take a shower together. And then it
Yeah.
fades to black while he's singing the song to her. And then while I know this sounds dumb because it's in my dream, it fades to black. And while it's in the black transition, it switches over to the Greta Van Fleet version. And there's a guy walking down a street and he goes into a record store where it's playing. And that's when I woke up.
That's a smooth transition.
I thought so too, and I was like, I want to put this in a movie,
Yeah,
but I'm not a director, so
that's interesting. I've only had a few really musical dreams. I've had a lot, but I've had only a few that I remember the melody when I woke up. But I can't remember the melody. I'm getting old. I
yeah.
should have
Well,
definitely
I mean,
recorded at least singing the tune, humming the melody, something. I could have been rich.
okay. I found the lyrics. This is all I could remember. So it says, and once he hit the ground, the other kids held him down, and as the smell hit the air, liquid ran through his hair. He knew what would come next. He could see the strike of the match in his head, and even though in gasoline he was drowned, he began to roll around. The fire continued to spread from his legs to his head. And then there's something about weight and him trying to do anything to avoid his fate. He tore his shirt. It was something, and then that's all I could remember.
Snaps.
Yeah. Although, I mean, I was like, this is a terrible song. Plus, how awful is it that I just like had a dream of a kid getting burned alive, basically?
I mean, weird. But I wouldn't say it was
Yeah.
awful because, like, you watch a lot of film.
Yeah, I do.
So it's not, I wouldn't say it says anything about your psyche. I think you might have just been watching something or seeing something like that.
Maybe. Those two dreams, that one and the one that I mentioned before, were some of the most cinematic dreams I've ever had, where it definitely felt like a movie. You know, like I was watching a movie.
Interesting. I've had several dreams where it felt like movies. I cannot remember them right now.
I have a few, but those are the most cinematic because they were the ones that, like, I was definitely not there in them.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
those are the ones that stood out.
yeah. I've had other ones that were fairly cinematic, and I was in them, but weirdly in like third person.
Yeah,
So I wasn't looking through my eyes. I was like watching from a camera lens, watching myself do things.
yeah.
Yeah. But we can talk more about those another time.
We are nearing the end of all things. Just kidding. Just the end of the podcast episode.
No, it's the end of all things.
Goodbye,
We're,
everybody.
we're sorry you all had to learn about it this way from the
You heard
third
it from
episode
here
of a
first,
podcast.
folks.
Yeah,
We end with our usual book recommendations.
sure.
Okay, well, before we do that, I just want to say that this is a great idea to give book recommendations at the end of a dream podcast because I don't think we ever explicitly said this, but we talked about it before off of like not in the podcast. Book recommendations are good because we think it might help people not necessarily remember, but have like more vivid
More
dreams.
vivid. Yeah, more
Yes.
vivid.
Yes, that is one of our theories that as readers, because uh, Dustin and I have put away a lot of books, we dream more vividly. That's a theory. Okay,
Yes.
go ahead. You go first.
I guess this week I'll go with another series. The Chronicles of Amber series by Roger Zelazny. It's another 10-book series, but really you only need to read the first 5. The second half doesn't really have to do with the first half, and the first half to me was the more interesting part of the series.
Okay. What's it about?
It's another like magical fantasy type. There are 2 different settings. There's a modern day setting and then a sort of past fairy tale type, and it's about a magical family lives in a place called Amber. It's kind of like how you would say the Feywild is.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away, but it's very interesting. If you're into
Okay.
fantasy, check it out.
Cool. I think the book recommendation I want to go with is another young adult fiction novel because I read a ridiculous amount of high school level books, fiction. But anyway, it's the Aurora series. Oh man, I just forgot the author's name. Hang on, let me look it up. Oh, it's two authors, by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. The Aurora Cycle series. But it's basically a sci-fi series. The premise is a young ship captain, not like a pirate ship, but like a spaceship captain who's just graduating and he needs a crew. It's a 3-book series and
Is it 3? I thought it was 4.
no, it's 3.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I don't think you're right.
I'm looking at it right now.
Why did you sound so country when you said that?
I don't know. But yeah, it's a 3-book series. You follow along with his crew on adventures throughout the series. So it's really interesting. So if you're into sci-fi, space travel, different alien species coming together and working together as a team, then definitely check it out.
Cool. I also read that series. Well, listen to the audiobook. Very good. There's actual a whole cast. It's not just one person doing all the voices.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that about the
Yeah,
audiobooks.
yeah, it's really interesting.
So yeah, check it out if you got time.
You are
Make
such
time.
a nerd. You are such a fucking nerd. I heard you snap in the background.
You cannot prove it. So,
There's audio evidence. You just did it again. There's audio evidence.
no, I
You
didn't.
fucking nerd.
All right. So, yay, that is the end. Thank you for listening.
Tell them where they can find us.
Oh, you can find us on, I don't know. Where can you find us? We're lost.
Podcast McPodcast. No, that's not a thing.
You can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Sirius FM, Pandora, and Stitcher. Hopefully, more places to come. So, yay.
We will have an email address set up so that you can send us your dreams. We'll ask for prompts. You can send whatever you want, whenever you want. That way we can get kind of a cohesive set for each episode that we're going to do
Woo!
of Community
Exciting
Dreams.
thing.